Hello, everyone, and welcome to Brown Mouthwash. I am your host, Matthew, and I am joined today by four beautiful ladies, Kayla, Ashlee, Jendayi, and Britnique. If you guys would like to introduce yourselves, say hi to the people. Kayla can go first.
Hi, I'm Kayla.
Ashlee.
Yep, that's me. I'm Ashlee.
Jendayi.
I'm Jendayi.
And Britnique.
Hi, I'm Britnique.
It is going to be a great conversation. I can already tell. But before we get into that, we must start our day with a swig of mouthwash. Today, I'm going a little bit off tradition, and I have a nice red blend. Indeed. What are you guys swishing with today?
I'm going with the spiced apple cider.
Ooh.
I got a glass of liquid popsicle wine. So yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Where'd you get that?
Total Wine. It is. Let me just show y'all this bottle real quick. Ooh.
Of course.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh.
Mm.
They should pay me to advertise.
Okay.
Endorsement. I'm drinking some tropical rosé. It's like some type of drink or something. So we gonna see how this goes.
I have a glass as well of an old-fashioned Arnold Palmer with rum in it.
Nice.
Ooh, with the added rum.
Spike.
Arnold Palmer.
She said she's trying to be warm for the holidays.
It is cold. It is cold.
All right. Well, cheers.
Cheers.
Clink. Yes.
Okay, shots.
Smooth. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started with our first pour. Today's first pour is going to be what I think everybody has been kind of anxious over or paying a lot of attention to this past week, the election. Now, by the time this episode comes out, it would have already been about a week since the election. But as of today, it is not yet final. Somebody in the lead. But it's not yet final. So I want to open the conversation by just asking, like, generally, what have you guys' experiences been or feelings or everything been surrounding this election season? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Felt that.
Where to begin?
I guess for me, it's just like, I'm just like trying to get over these little tantrums people are trying to have if the election don't go their way. Like, I just can't, I'm not here for like another episode of rioting and tearing down people's businesses who've been struggling to bring it back up together, or like the fact that people been saying like certain things, certain groups of people about to start showing up. I'm not about that lifestyle. I'm just saying, like, let it run its course. And I mean, you can't win all the time. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
You can't win all the time.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's just a little like stress. It's not stressful, but like, I guess I just want to know, and it's just taking. I understand. I want everyone's vote to be counted, but it's just taking a long time.
Nevada.
And it's like the limbo is what makes you just like, and makes people stir crazy too. And that's where, like Ashlee was saying, the emotions are going to get even more heightened whenever there is a decision, and it's just going to be hopefully fine. But I just feel like a lot of people are just getting really like wound up because we're waiting so long. And I also think people should have been prepared for this because it's a pandemic. You probably shouldn't have had people standing in lines to vote. Like, you know what I mean? Like, thank you. That was an option for people who wanted to do it, but you should have known that the mail-in ballots would have been like crazy this year. I don't know why people just don't, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I already came into it with expectations of we weren't going to know election day because of the mail-in ballots. Like some states accept them like 3 days after, as long as they're postmarked on election day. So I feel like this was expected. But I mean, it is it is very like, I don't know, you could say it's kind of causing anxiety because it's like Jendayi said, you just want to know what the result is, like whether it goes your way or not. So you can know where to go from here. Like, where do we go from here? And also, these protesters have me done because
The protesters.
I just don't know where it makes sense to say stop counting. Like, I'm just confused by it because even if the votes were in your favor, when did you want them to be counted? Like,
Right.
I'm just very confused.
And then especially because as of right now, they're not.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
So
I'm just
The
a
logic
little confused. Yeah, there is none.
all around
It's illogical.
Like but I mean, historically, that's been the case. So facts apparently don't matter at all. So
never did. They never did. What's getting me about this whole election season is like it goes back to the logic thing or the lack thereof, and seeing all the people online on social media that will be bashing certain groups for how they organize or how they protest or the issues they care about, but then they'll go and do the same stuff for their own sets of issues and things, and then all of a sudden like, nah, but this is different. I mean, but it's not. But it's not. So like, if y'all getting mad because we were out here protesting during a pandemic because people were getting killed, but y'all turned around and y'all are literally storming offices because you want them to stop counting votes, some of which could be y'all's.
Right.
Like, we're not supposed to get mad that y'all protesting. Oh, okay.
yeah.
And also some of which that are not for the president of the United States. Like, there are other people on the ballot.
Exactly.
Don't the Republicans have a Senate majority? So if they were the people saying don't count anymore, well, what if your majority was slim? Like, and it could be that maybe they count a little bit and then your majority gone. Like, at least those votes are actually majority vote, races.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So it's like, so if we got rid of all those votes you didn't want to be counted, you could be not in the position you're in. Like, they're not the only people. The ballot, well, for me, was 2 pages long. So it's like a whole bunch of
me too.
were voted for it. You know what I mean? Like,
I think that's what they're afraid of.
Yeah.
Losing the winning margin.
Losing
Right, like not being in power anymore. So that's why they're like, stop, because if you keep going, then
we'll be out.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's just when it doesn't make sense to me. Like, you trying so hard to stop other people that you end up stopping yourself.
Yeah.
And
a word.
Okay. Like, you worry so much about what's on other people's plates that your own food is getting cold.
Like,
there's a fly on it.
I just don't get it.
Yeah, there are flies. Like,
I never heard that.
But and then so I do that brings me to a follow-up question. It's less of a discussion thing, but it doesn't matter who you voted for, but did you guys vote in person or vote early or absentee?
I voted in person and I did early voting. Yeah.
Same.
Oh, same. Actually, my voting story is interesting. Ooh. So I had an absentee ballot sent to me, and I filled it out, and I heard that you could drop it off at a early voting site, and because I wasn't about to trust the mail, otherwise my vote probably still be out there. You know what I'm saying? So I said, let me just go ahead and drop this off in person, use a lunch break, played myself. So I went to the early voting site, and they said, okay, well, just stand in line with the regular voters and you'll give it to the people inside. I was like, well, damn, I might as well just vote for real, since I'm here. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm here. So I'm going to drop off this ballot and walk out. So I go up to the lady at the table, and I hand her my absentee ballot, and she's like, okay, we'll deal with this in a second. I need you to print you off a little piece of paper. And I'm like, okay. I didn't know what the paper was for. She didn't say what it was for. I thought it was a little, I don't know, a receipt or something, or a little sign off that says, we got your thing. So I was like, all right. I signed the thing, and my younger sister signed my absentee ballot as my witness. And so the lady asked me like, oh, so who is this to you? Like, are you guys close, like related, or like friends? And I said, I mean, we pretty close. I'm her brother. She's like, oh, okay, well, that's great. That's fine. And she slid it to the side. She put the ballot in the little lock box, and then she gave me my paper and said, okay, follow these arrows. So I looked at the arrows and where they went, and I said, well, that doesn't go to the door. So it goes to another table, and I'm like, all right. So I go to another table, and I notice that there are people in front of me that are at that table already getting ballots to go to the voting stalls. And so I'm like, So I go to the table and I give her my little paper, and they said, oh, okay, well, and then they start pulling out an actual ballot for me. And I said, now wait, hold up. Now I just gave my absentee ballot to the lady over at station 1. So I don't know if, I just want y'all to know that. And they're like, oh, well, you can't vote twice. I said, well, I'm aware. That's why I told you that I just gave my ballot to the lady at station 1. So they're like, well, then why'd you get this paper? I said, I don't volunteer here. So that's why I'm wondering. Again, we're back
She
to
obviously
the fact
thought
that
it was your sister's.
Right. So I guess
that you were turning in. Okay.
Right, that I was turning in on her behalf. And I'm just like, that's a lot nicer than what I would really do, because I'm not doing that. So nonetheless, like, I had to get pulled out of line. Now I'm holding this blank ballot, and they'd sending me to other places. They had to call downtown to make sure they got directions on what to do, because now they have to decide, like, do they spoil my real ballot that I just got, or do they spoil my absentee? And so he's on the phone. He's like, well, he turned in an absentee ballot, but he just got a real one. So what do we do? And apparently it would be a whole long process to cancel the real one. And I said, sir, it's literally just in that box. Like, if y'all just want to take that one out, like, I'll vote for real. Like, it's not a big deal. So I ended up voting in person on that day. But I'm like, dang, it's supposed to be a 30-minute in and out, and I ended up being here for an hour. Like,
right.
But I'm glad that I did speak up, because otherwise I could have committed like voter fraud or something.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
Like that man that was on the news, and he was like, yeah, I went to go vote or whatever, and they had the nerve to tell me I had already voted with an absentee ballot. And he was like, how is it even possible if I'm standing right here getting a real ballot, like, to vote in person? So I mean, I could see like what Jendayi was saying, like, you don't want to rush it, but then too, it's like, you got to make sure, one, there's like so many like ways for things to be messed up in this process. So don't like try to rush it. Make sure it's done accurately, especially if you're going to be the person who like wants to win. Like, it just blew my mind that he was like trying to put a lawsuit out. And I was like, sir,
the audacity.
We are all struggling with something, but you, sir, that's too much. Like, just stop it. Like, when I heard it, I was like, so you're going to sue?
The basis.
There's fraud. We're trying to eliminate the fraud.
Basis.
Like, it didn't sit right with me.
That's why down.
His whole existence doesn't sit right with me. Like, none of it.
I mean,
but the basis of the lawsuit is what has me like
bent.
What?
Where are we going with this?
Oh, what?
Nowhere.
But what did we expect? Y'all watch that Bernie video? Bernie literally said exactly what was going on.
He did.
He called it work step by step. So obviously everyone already knew what he was going to do. And then apparently Georgia, this is the first time they're doing paper ballots in 20 years. So if this is the first time.
Wait, they're doing paper or not non-paper?
Maybe I misheard him. I'm pretty sure he said this is the first time in 20 years we're doing paper ballots. So if you're introducing something, it's gonna be like some, like the first time you do something is never 100% right. And then a lot of people, apparently the ballots are wrong, so they were like calling people and verifying that stuff was, and then provisional. It's just a lot, and I don't know who gets paid to do this stuff or if it's a volunteer operation, but good on them.
Yeah.
It has to be something official. When
you guys voted, did you have electronic machines or did you have paper ballots?
Paper.
I had paper.
I had paper.
I had an electronic. I had an electronic. Well, it was paper, but to actually fill in like the bubbles or whatever, it was electronic. So like they print you out a blank paper, and then you walk over to the next station and you go to your little like station, and then you put the blank paper in, and then you have like a touch screen, and they give you like a pen when you walk in that has a stylus on the other side, and you like use the stylus to tap the screen and make your selections. And then when you're done, you review your choices and you hit print, and it prints out your ballot with like the candidates that you chose. And then you walk over to the last station and you put your ballot in.
That's what I need, because I hate filling in them circles.
Dang.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I had never voted like that before, but.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
Me neither.
So did you have like any issues though, like pushing the buttons or making sure like you didn't select the?
No, because they're like huge, like the buttons are like that. Oh. It's like a huge, it's literally like a
jitterbug
huge button on the page. And then the stylus also helps too, I guess, like so people don't, they clean the stations every time, but they gave you like the pen with the stylus and you just tap with your stylus, so you don't have to worry about like, oh, it's not going. I didn't have any problems. I just like hit it and it worked the first time. And I already had a list of who I was voting for anyway, because I researched my candidates.
Look, come on, somebody.
That part.
I'm not about to be filling no random book.
Right. Not me.
In my county, like everyone ran unopposed. So really, what was the research for? But still, I could have left it blank.
That's what I do sometimes. The candidates that are running unopposed, I can't give you my vote. Look, sometimes you got to. Sometimes you got to, for the principle of the matter, because
we've been there before on less important elections. Whenever we had to leave people alone. Okay.
I want to do that though. I want to use it. I doubt that Hertford County is ever gonna get electronic ones, unless it's like everyone has to do it. But
I'm in the county with the capital. And we still had the old Scantrons that you had to make your mark heavy and dark. Like, dang.
Yeah.
I do twice to just make sure. I was like, make sure I cover this entire circle. I ain't want no problems.
Let me not leave.
I remember the Scantrons in school, and then like you could get stuff wrong if it wasn't filled in. Yeah.
Look.
Like,
okay.
I thought it was really cool.
You filled in the right answer, but the Scantron machine was like, it's still wrong, but you obviously know it was right. No.
That's why you got to check your answers when you get it back.
Right.
Look, I'll be checking them points. Yep.
And number 13 was what? John? No.
I think there's been an error. I got mistaken for a first-time voter, though, and I was very happy. I cried almost a little bit. I was like, man.
Wait, why? Why is that something to be proud of?
She thought I looked 18. It's like, ma'am, this is my second in person.
Oh, you mean like literally the first time you're eligible to vote?
Sorry.
Yes. Okay. Because I was like, why is that a good thing?
Right.
Like, this is your first time. You just turned 18, or you look like a young college student. I said, ma'am, no, I voted once and as an absentee, and this is my second time in real life. I'm not that young. And she was like, oh, you look great. I said, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
And then she said, wait, can you pull your mask down like a little bit so I can see like a little bit more of your nose? And I said, sure. And she said, are you Lisa's daughter? And I was like, yes. And then I kept moving. I was like, how do you know who I am based on my eyes? Like,
Not you got your mama's nose.
Right.
whole face, apparently. That was just made me feel good because it was hot out there. And I was like, thank you, ma'am. I'm going to vote now.
How
One
long
more
did
thing.
it take you guys to vote?
You said what?
How long did it take you guys?
Like 30 minutes.
Took me 20 minutes.
I would say it took me about 15 because I actually went to a spot where there weren't a lot of people. Like it was like 2 people in there when I went. And then like Kayla, I already knew, like because of my research, I already knew who I was voting for. I think the most time sensitive thing for me was like filling in them bubbles and trying to wait for the machine to just process my ballot. So yeah.
Yeah, I would say mine was pretty short. Yeah, you had a lot going on.
I think mine would have been shorter if it wasn't drive-through people, because like the drive-through people weren't separate. They were like in front of, like they prioritized the drive-through people. So they got to go before us. So we had to like wait for them if they came. If a person drove up while we were standing there, they went first. So that was like made it longer.
Yeah, I think for me, the longest part was waiting for a machine to open because when I got in there was no line, but I got my like blank paper and walked to stand in line. And then I was like the first person to go to an open like machine, but there was open machines, but they had to have, because of the electronic like ballot thing, they had to have a person available to like tell you how it works, because I think it was the first time that they implemented that. So there was empty like stations, but I couldn't like go to a station because I needed a person, and they had to clean them off as well. So I waited maybe like 5 minutes for that. So that's what took a little longer, but I just basically like walked in, waited for someone, went, did my thing, and went out. It was very quick.
Oh, that's clutch. Oh, last thing. So, did y'all know that y'all could look up, like when you look up voter registration, people apparently have been looking up like their family and friends to see if they're registered, and also like what party they typically vote for and stuff.
I knew you could look up other people because I heard it and I was like, wait a minute, what? I heard it. They were like advertising it on the radio, I think. And I was like, well, I mean, can't you just, if it's your family, just ask them, and if they decide to tell you, they're gonna tell you. If they're not, they're not. Like, you know, because some people, to them, like some people don't like sharing like their political views because of all the controversy that goes on between it, especially now. Everybody like, oh, you voted for such and such, you voted for such. It don't matter. I put my ballot in. That's all that matters. But like, I knew about it because I heard it. But am I doing it? No.
But doesn't matter though.
I mean, now if you want to have so y'all know I be on TikTok, and so this lady had a TikTok where she literally is cussing out her son, right? So her and her son went to go vote together, and this other lady, and she said, who did you vote for? Like she was trying to confirm that he had done the process that they had talked about before they got there. And he did not go through the process. He voted for the complete opposite person. So she goes to call somebody to tell them how stupid he was because he didn't follow instructions. She was like, you are so dumb. Like, why would you vote for that person? Like, we had this conversation, blah, blah, blah. Like, I told you exactly who to vote for, how to fill out the bubbles, and you still ain't listen. And I was just like, dang, you fussing your son out like that? Like, she literally, you know how moms do when they can't believe that you've done something stupid, so they call somebody else to confirm and verify. That's what she did. And I was like, dang, like, she really gonna come for him. So in certain instances, you be like, come on now, let's be smart, okay? But then in some cases, you be like, they gonna do what they wanna do, they grown, I guess.
Yeah. And I know what video you're talking about, and that was so funny because even when she told the other person she was talking to, she was like, what happened? And she said, he went and voted for such and such. The person on the other line was like, why would you do that? So like,
right. She was like, we
Both
need
of them.
somebody that's got some sense going on, and you gonna vote for somebody stupid. And not, but the thing was, he didn't vote for Trump. He voted, I think it was like I think he voted for Independent. Yes, that's what he voted for. But she didn't care. She was just mad that he didn't follow the instructions that she gave him. And I was like, dang, son, now you going viral because you ain't vote right.
But yeah, I just love though that no matter who you vote for or what party lines you share, everybody can agree. That's also a lie, but it's overwhelming.
What can we agree on? Because I don't see a thing.
I think it's an objective fact that this country is the ghetto. And that's not something you can put on a ballot, ladies and gentlemen. That just is what it is. Like the Supreme Court, it's a lifelong thing. Yikes. With that being said, it's time to go into the swish. The swish, for those who have yet to catch on to this show, is when we just talk about the main thing, what binds us together as hosts and guests. So I was telling everyone before we started recording that I have not been doing a great job at going into any context or detail with who I was co-hosting each episode with. Introductions is one thing, but then nobody else knows anything else. So I'm going to do that a little better today. The five of us, we all met in college through our dance crew. And that's kind of where we all started, talking and hanging out and stuff. So we were the squad that would hang out after practice till like 1 a.m. and just talk and go off. And just, it was a great time. Irresponsible, probably, but would not trade it for anything. Played ourselves on multiple occasions. But I think we're better for it. So being that we all kind of met each other and started our friendship on a dance crew and through creative expression, I wanted to, I guess, bring up as our conversation topic, what is creative expression to you and what does it mean for each of us? And if we are pursuing it beyond just a hobby or anything, what does it look like currently in whatever we got going on? So, yeah. I don't know if anybody want to start. I know personally, dance was something that I started right before college. And so whenever I got into it and met everybody, I was pretty fresh with that kind of form of expressing myself. But since then, I pursue it, I guess, as a lucrative side hustle hobby type thing with my music stuff. And professionally, I work as a graphic designer. So I was able to take what I do creatively, and that directly influences my line of work, but it also has given me another profitable way of continuing to be expressive as well. And I think that for me, it's really helpful because as much as I do talk, I'm more articulate with certain things I'm trying to get across whenever it's through different types of media. So, yeah.
You better sum that up.
I did. Look, I'm getting
for
better.
me, same here. I was doing dance way before college. It's just something that I stuck with. Personally, I would say like creative expression to me is just anything that you feel like allows you to have a voice in some type of manner, whether that's physically, whether it's like singing, talking, comedy, whether it's dance, like what we're doing, drawing, all this stuff. Just anything that you use as an outlet to just express what you can't really say in words, or that you feel like you can't do like your normal self. You have to get into a mood or vibe. For me, afterwards, as far as like creative expression, one of my really like main goals that I'm trying to achieve, I don't know, financially, it's been a struggle, but I want to open a community art center. And so I've just been doing little things to work towards that. So like my current job right now, I work in a fab lab at Central's campus, NCCU. And so basically what we're trying to do is just give that creative expression to kids who are in school right now to kind of get them away from the screen time. So the goal of the Community Arts Center is that it provides a space and resources to people in undeserved communities, and also like in working in the Fab Lab, serve or try to help serve undeserved communities, just to be able to have access to a way of expressing themselves, because not everybody has access to certain resources that can help and aid in that type of creative space. So is it working? It's in between. It's still a struggle, it's still a process, but I'm working at it. I always say it's never too late to do what you want to do, as long as you can put your mind to it.
Okay, well, I'll go. Yeah, I'll just echo what Ashlee said. I think that creative expression is just a way to express yourself that you can't put into words. I personally am an introvert. It may not seem like it, but I'm an introvert. And so like dance, painting, art, poetry, all of those things were ways that I could like tell my story, or like someone else's story maybe, without having to actually have a conversation or say a lot of words. What I'm doing now, I don't really do dance anymore, unfortunately. I want to get back into it. COVID, it hasn't really allowed me to do that. And I am doing grad school right now. So I've been kind of busy with that. And so, but my creative expression right now, I think, has been like art. But most recently, I've been doing like home projects, like remodeling like dressers and like tables and stuff like that. That's been pretty cool. It's like new, and I tried to do a project the other day and I was like, ooh, girl, you don't have the skill set yet.
Not this
I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out. I thought I was like well equipped, and I was like, ooh, YouTubers made this seem so easy, but it's not. But I'll get it together. But that's been my outlet as of right now. Yeah.
Okay, I'll go. I feel like what I was gonna say is like already been said by like multiple people, but I think for me, creative expression is sort of similar to what Britnique said, like being able to express yourself in other ways aside from words. Like for me, I was thinking about that. Ironically, I was thinking about this recently because I really consider myself more of a creative or creator than like just one thing, like a dancer or an artist or designer or whatever. Like I really find joy in multiple creative spaces. And so for me, that could be dancing, designing, whether that be like web design. That's something that I've found that I'm like really passionate about. Lately, I've been like getting into that, trying to do some like freelance work related to website design. And also like, I don't know what happened to my voice, but like even t-shirt designs, like, and what else? I used to draw a lot when I was younger, but not anymore. I used to really like just draw as like, oh, I feel like drawing right now, but not anymore. And some painting too. But I just think like, as Britnique said, like it's a way to express yourself, or sometimes even share with other people like how you're feeling or an experience that you had without actually telling the story with your words. You can tell it in many other ways. And I think it's really important for everyone to explore the creative spaces that they enjoy, because I feel like it can be an outlet for stress relief, as well as just like improving mental health, because these days,
Baby.
Find some outlet, honey.
Baby.
it's a lot. It's a lot.
I mean, everyone already said what most of it is all about. Like, obviously, yeah, so everyone pretty much said it's expressing yourself about, like, actually saying, I feel sad, or, like, working through whatever you're feeling on the inside, manifesting that in a visible thing or other people can see and stuff. I don't know. I don't know how to put it. I guess, like, I don't know if I'm creative in the sense, like, I can't draw or anything, or, like, do poetry or design with. But, like, I do care about aesthetics. So, like, for instance, like at work, if we put together a document, you know, they always send it to me because it can't just be an Arial font. It has to look
okay.
Because, like, I feel like little stuff like that, like, I want to put myself in everything. So, like, I'm not going to just put anything out there. So I want things to look good. Like, even like my virtual classroom, everyone else is just like a blank screen, but I have to have, like, it has to be different every day, and it reflects my mood. Like, when I feel homesick, like when I want to be in Bermuda, like, I'll put a Bermuda background, or like if I'm feeling excited, I'll put like pink and green or like orange. Yeah. So, like, I do kind of, I don't know if anyone catches that, because, like, the kids probably don't, but I do kind of like creative in that way, like putting together this house. Yeah, it's so cute. So that type of stuff. And then obviously I met y'all through dance. So I danced growing up. And back then, when I was less self-conscious, I was actually really good at, like, evoking emotions and stuff. And especially when it had to be about other people, like when it was like for church, or if it was a piece where the background wasn't about us, like, I felt like that was the easiest way to, like, convey someone else's emotion, or like do something on behalf of someone else, like in a creative space, like advocating for other people. So that's pretty much how I'm creative, because again, I can't draw. My mom actually just framed a picture I drew when I was 7, and she thinks it's so great, and I'm like, ugh, like, it's a painting of a boat. And she framed it and put it in my house.
Man, my mama don't frame nothing that I draw. For me to draw so much, like, that's like my thing, and my mama don't frame nothing. I'll be showing her stuff. Okay, look at, first of all, if you listening, you obviously can't see this, but if you watching, you just saw that this painting was legit. Like,
right. It made it seem like it was on one of them little placemats they give you at the dang on. That's good, girl.
Right.
Not a place.
Place.
Oh my gosh.
Y'all know them little coloring papers don't come for me.
Yeah, my mom definitely was this creativity. That's why she forced me to audition for musicals when I was little.
That's one thing I wish I could do, sing. That's what I wish.
Britnique would be a whole problem if she could sing, boy.
Boy.
Now, here's the thing, though. Singing is one thing, but will you know the lyrics?
Nope.
Y'all don't have to do me like that.
You gotta tell
me.
Probably not. Maybe if I could sing, maybe.
Wait a minute, but that's rapping, okay? I caught that.
But he said, would you know the lyrics? And I said, if it's DMX.
If it's DMX. Bar for bar.
Listen, still a bop.
Every time I hear it, I think about you, girl.
Exactly. Every time.
And it just came out of nowhere. Like, oh, okay.
I was like, wait a minute.
Listen,
She know all
there's
the
a backstory. There is a backstory because it seems like the weirdest thing. Because I know y'all know me. Y'all know my music choice. It's like Sam Smith, like James Arthur. But like growing up, we used to go on road trips like Myrtle Beach, Florida, and like my dad had the DMX city. Like, and it was probably super inappropriate at like 7. Like, but he had like the whole city, and like so we just be in the car like literally during the whole road trip. And so, like, that's why I know all those lyrics. Like, that's the only reason.
Yeah, for context, like we were at the club one time, and at the club they play like top 40 or popular music, and then every now and then the DJ will put on something real like hard or real ratchet, like a throwback. So we in there and we listening, like you put the Kehlani on, and we like and then they put on like that one Beyonce bop, and we just like and then they put on maybe that ratchet thing from the top 40 that we got choreo to, so we start dancing and shut the club down like, oh shit, they playing that. But then they put on this DMX track, and Britnique just pops off like word for word, pointing and like just yelling the lyrics, cannot be stopped. Like she didn't stutter one time, and we all sitting there like,
who is she?
Where did this come from? Because we would be in practice whenever we were having dance practices, and Britnique was a choreographer, so she always had a piece, and she'd be teaching the piece and never knew the words. Like she give you 3 words, then it becomes sounds. So like, but if I and ooh, the sky alone, and we're like, huh?
I wish that was inaccurate. Like I wish, like listening to you, I'm like, true. I can't. Oh, I wish it wasn't.
But then that DMX come on, and she knew every single phrase.
Y'all gonna make me lose my mind.
Like,
I think it's context that we need to say. We're not talking about the chorus, honey. We're talking about the verse.
The verse.
Every
it's
like,
the best part. Is it?
Her whole demeanor changed. Like you thought "Back That Ass Up" came on. As soon as she heard she was like,
oh.
going in circles and.
Oh man.
That was her song. That was it. That was Britnique's song. Oh man, that was great. Woo. Well, that being said, I think it's a great time to pause for a word from our sponsors. We still have no sponsors, so we're gonna continue.
I laugh at
One of these days.
I'm gonna say it's coming.
One of these days it's gonna be real, and they're gonna be shook because a commercial is gonna switch. I'll be like, a word from our sponsors, and I'll be like, well, if you need a new toothbrush, then this company is perfect. And they're gonna be like, damn, he really got a sponsor. And I'll be like, yeah, y'all thought this was gonna be a fake out, huh? But in the meantime, here we are. We're gonna move forward. I get a little sad every time I do that, though, low key. We're gonna move on to the gargle, and the gargle is whenever we go have advice or a Q&A or listener letters that are read out loud. But since we have none of that, if you have listeners, anything you'd like to send in, please send all your inquiries, wild schemes of protests, or existential crises to brownmouthwash@gmail.com. That is BROWNMOUFWASH@gmail.com, or DM us at brownmouthwashpod on social media. But since none of y'all did that yet, I have a question for the ladies in the room, which is all of y'all. We are obviously still in a Rona era in the United States.
Popular belief.
Okay, so as much as some of your timelines may say otherwise, and as many of your followers are continually meeting up with friends, mask free. I'm not talking about at the dinner table where it makes no sense to wear one as you eat your food. I'm talking socially. Maybe they meet at a mall or go to a beach, or you know what? They just all meet up at somebody's house. No testing. They just show up.
No testing. They just show up.
Now, if you feel like that was shade, that's one issue. If you feel like that was shade towards you, Anyhow, contrary to popular belief, we're still in a pandemic. So, but that obviously does not mean that we have to stop living our lives. And as much as we take precaution to be responsibly social, because that is also a thing, one area that I think none of us can really, completely separate from is the fact that it would be cute to be, booed up or something, because it's also cuffing season to some. So today's advice that I'm asking of you all, we'll call it cuffed during COVID.
Yeah.
How to safely pursue a Rona relationship. Now, I am not as fortunate as maybe some of us in the room when it comes to a boo, a bae, a significant other. But my question to you all is, if dating during this time is something that you have dipped and dabbled in, how did you do that? And how do you suggest others of us can get on to that train?
I guess the first question is, who in the room is dating?
Well, everybody knows I am already cuffed. So I'm going to just exclude myself from the dating portion.
I think actually Britnique should be the one to start us off here.
Right.
I agree.
Date your boyfriend?
You've already secured the bag, so.
Yeah, yeah. So, I don't have any, how to go about pursuing one. But, I have found it actually so beneficial for COVID, not being able to go anywhere and kind of finding new things to do in your relationship and finding new ways to bond and new ways to make being inside exciting. I have found that beneficial to the relationship, right? You learn more about each other, you talk more because you're not trying to go out and be at events and find other things to do. So, that's a little tidbit of advice. If you are in a relationship during the Rona season, then find new things to do, make being inside exciting. And if you find that you are inside and then not enjoying your partner's company, I would suggest you reevaluate some things, because you should be able to spend time with your partner and do nothing and enjoy that time as well.
Baby.
Might be a little bit of shade, but it's just you got to know yourself and really evaluate your relationships in your life. It's part of growing up and just being an adult, I suppose.
Oh, now she calls y'all children. Not y'all, but generally. Dang. She also said, now, if you can't be outside and have fun, and you can't be inside and find something to do, baby.
Because the world is so fast paced typically. We're all trying to find something to do. We're all trying to be at the next hottest thing. And I feel we get so caught up in doing things with people, and they might not even be the best people for us. We may not even know them that well, but doing something will just take up so much space that you don't even realize it. So I just think that when you have that time, really consider those things, because you have the time to think about it, because most of the time life doesn't give you those opportunities because everything is so quick. So no shade, just perspective, perhaps.
I'm done with that. I think that principle applies though to friendships as well. Who are the people that you've been talking to during this time, or people that you normally were talking to, and then
gone.
Distance. Okay. way.
Yeah.
So I feel like that I agree with that. Those are principles to that carry over to other types of relationships as well.
Absolutely.
Now, if it is an instance where you're not dating, and it is more about friendships, and I like that you brought that up. Have you guys made new friends, or maybe rekindled relationships, or stepped away from relationships? Because I mean, I will say, like, I've definitely met people virtually over this time period. And forged some really great connections with folks. So I mean, you can have special someones, I suppose, but as far as you guys, have you even met new people or found that some of those relationships you've built are different?
I know for me, it has definitely been where I've been able to reconnect with people I just didn't think I would reconnect with, not because we fell out, but just because life happened. You know how you get older, go your separate ways, go to school, stuff like that. So I've gotten to make connections with like people from high school, which you never think you would. But in general, when I was in high school, like those were my like road dogs. So I'm kind of glad that we got to reconnect. And then as far as like cutting people off, not really, because I was already doing that from the get-go. Either you was down for me or you won't. I'm just being honest, but I can definitely say that before you can even think about friendships and relationships and trying to figure out, I feel like COVID, a lot of people should have taken advantage of getting to know yourself. Because I found out a lot of stuff about myself where I was like, let me try to work on these things, or let me try to reevaluate how this is going to impact me first before I try to take that energy to somebody else. So that definitely has helped me. I picked up like a lot of stuff that I felt like was helpful to make it be better. And not that I wasn't already doing it, I just had more time to actually focus on it and give it attention during COVID. That's the thing. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm working on myself. But like, if you're busy, okay, you give yourself like an hour. Nah, yourself need more time than that. So I'm gonna just say that was helpful. I did try to, I was entering the dating world before COVID. And then like, some stuff kind of popped off like during COVID, but then it was like that was iffy. So that got canceled. And then some more magic happened. And then I was like, okay. Then because I reevaluated some things in my life, I was like, that ain't it. So what I'm saying is just go ahead and take advantage of learning yourself, because then you can filter out like what you don't want. If you're trying to figure out some things during COVID, most people don't like them. I would highly suggest the dating apps. If not dating apps, shoot your shot, sis or brother or whoever you trying to talk to, because they ain't doing nothing. And if they can't make time for you, then they won't for you in the first place. What you got to lose is everything virtually. Like, just do it. But I feel like if you're trying to like actually, if you're making a friendship but you wanted to go into a relationship, I know something that's helped me has definitely been FaceTime. Or just phone calls. Can you hold a conversation with somebody? If you can't hold a conversation with somebody during this time, like Britnique said, how y'all gonna hold a conversation later? And the conversation is not gonna be a conversation. It's gonna be like filling it with things, and that's not really what you want. So for my advice, I would say try like new things that you didn't do before. Like, I've done so much stuff that I didn't think I would ever do. Some of it was positive, some of it was negative, but you don't know until you try. So shoot your shots. Now, it might be a little too late to grab somebody to cuff now, because it's winter. You didn't start COVID with them. So
season about to start.
I'm just saying, though.
Playoffs.
But you kind of had to be like a few steps ahead. So if they're getting you now, it's because they didn't run through all their options. I'm just saying. You don't want to be nobody last minute. I'm just saying. So start slow.
Oh my gosh. not gonna lie. I think that virtual dating is the weirdest thing ever in my life. Like, it's so weird to me. Like, I don't like staring at myself while I'm talking to you. Like, it's just, oh, I don't know.
You always got to be making sure your angles are correct.
Right. Like,
You,
I also realize I say no a lot because in my mind, no one asks me to do anything, or like no one asks me out or anything. But like, I actually had to sit back and read. And I'm like, wow, I say no a lot. And a lot of the no's were just not answering back, which is not very nice, honestly. So I always say no one's paying attention to me, but maybe I just wasn't looking. I've only been on one e-date, is what he called it. But honestly, I wouldn't be able to do it in real life anyway because he doesn't live in this country. So, and I already dated him. Actually, how old am I? What's 30 minus 12 years ago?
You're just gonna age yourself by 2 months.
11 years ago. Is that better? Yeah, I think I dated him like 11 years ago. So, I mean, I already know him, but I guess you don't really know him because that's.
I'm gonna say, or do you? 11 years is a long time for somebody to change, work on themselves,
or not,
or still be the same person.
Still be 19.
Okay, red flag.
Right.
Okay.
But the friendship thing, obviously I don't have a whole bunch of friends down here. So a lot of the times I feel like I don't want to make friends either, but I have made some friends at work, so I haven't gone anywhere like that are actually like friends. So that's nice because we actually had to talk to each other and like we're in the trenches together, so we had to lean on each other. And it's actually nice to be friends with people you work with, like, and not like fake friends, like actual friends. Like if I was dying in a ditch, they would come try and, patch me up. So that's really nice. I went bowling with someone yesterday. And the reason why we went is because we get off of work at 3:00, which means by the time we get there, no one's going to be there. So no one was there. And then we sterilized everything. And then I won. I'm lying. I lost. Actually, I won the first round. I don't know what was going on. I was getting all these strikes. It was like magic. And then he got mad and he was like, all right, I'm going to be serious now. And then I lost twice. But we won't talk about that.
So he was serious.
Well, let's get on to this though. How was your experience bowling? Because I need to know.
It was no one in there except us.
And I guess it was just like normal experience then, huh?
Yeah, like we were the only ones in there, and all we did was bowl. Like we didn't eat there, and we like brought spray for our shoes, and we wiped down the balls and stuff, and we wore a mask, which was weird because again we were the only ones in there.
You never know.
It too, right?
You don't know who was in there before you all along.
That's true.
Stuff lingering. And but that's what I was saying too. Like, shade and stuff aside, it's not like it's impossible to go out and to enjoy things with other people during this time, but you got to be safe. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would definitely be lying if I said I haven't seen family or like hung out with my bros or whatever over this time, but there are precautions in place. You know what I'm saying? It's not just like, I know everybody been doing whatever they're doing and we haven't, checked up or anything or haven't gotten tested, but y'all trying to go somewhere this weekend. It's literally like, nah, have you gotten tested? Okay, if you haven't, you should probably stay home, but have you quarantined at least, And then if you do meet up with people, are y'all wearing masks? Are y'all trying to, actually be smart and bring your sanitizers and wipe stuff down? Or are y'all just really going out like it's the beginning of 2020? So I think you just got to use common sense. And the issue is common sense just not as common as it used to be.
Yeah, I was going to say common sense to who?
Okay.
Because not everybody got the same.
Nobody has the same common sense. That was just side too, but we've been running together and we want to go hiking, but it keeps raining. Mm-hmm. And I have too many jobs to have a loose schedule. So one day, a Sunday, it's gonna not rain and it's not gonna be freezing cold and we could go hiking because I want to go hiking really bad. I don't know why.
I do. Don't feel bad. I've been trying to hike for 2 months, girl. Child. Look. I just ain't found the right time, like you said. Also, I haven't found like the right location that I want to go to. But I also feel like for some reason, like I just want to be like, ironically, I shouldn't be the hell outside, but I feel closer to nature for some reason. Like I even said one time, I was like, oh, I want to go camping. And I was like, girl, no the hell you don't. It was just like
Glamping.
Glamping.
Oh, what's that?
Girl, it's
Oh, girl.
glamping.
Well, tell me, son, what is it?
You got a tent with a bed and an air conditioner if it's hot, or a heater if it's cold. You got a bath
Floor.
bathroom, a rug, a floor, dressers, lighting, Wi-Fi, electricity.
Oh, you mean like just do it in your house?
No, like glamorous camping is the glamping.
But where do you do it at though?
They have like glamping sites, like places that glamping. My mom wants to go to one that has a spa. They do massages in your tent.
Ooh. Send me the details, girl.
Okay.
I need that.
Glamping.
Yes.
Y'all been holding out.
Not y'all been holding out.
A real
We tried at Coachella.
Yeah.
Failed.
It was halfway.
It was halfway. You're right. It was halfway. But it was not as advertised.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
I'm still jealous that y'all were able to go to Coachella on the year that Beyonce performed. I just won't be over
It was
that.
magic.
I bet.
I hope the next time I go in 2025, when COVID's clear, Rihanna has come back to music.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
I doubt
Yeah.
she. Okay.
It's right now, Rihanna's just like, girl, fuck y'all album.
Y'all gonna get it when y'all get it.
Out, so she should sit it in.
Every time somebody bring it up, she's just like, well, that's another month added.
Like we on punishment. Well,
Right.
that's another month. No phone.
That's what we
Ask
get.
again. Push back a day every time you ask.
That's what, she got better things to do right now.
I read an article that said that she's been recording a lot lately with everything going on. She's been feeling inspired to put all of that energy into her music. So she has been recording a lot for her album in this era of
Nice.
Well, that's good. Now,
whatever you want to call this.
She could just put it out. Is what. Yes.
13.
She can put out a whole anthology, and I'm fine. 30 tracks. Okay.
Chris Brown did it twice, so she could do it once.
At least once.
Right.
Okay. Shoot. Somebody will listen. It'll be me.
A lot of people will listen.
A lot of people, literally the whole Navy.
I just know.
Right.
I'm just saying I'm gonna be in that number. Rihanna said, "How many tracks?" Oh, I'll just put it in at work. I'm just gonna listen at work.
I'm gonna take a long road trip, and I'm gonna play the soundtrack.
Okay, I'm gonna take the long way home. I only live 15 minutes from work, but you know what? I can go through downtown Raleigh. It's fine.
I live 6 minutes from work, so I'm gonna have to go to Charlotte real quick, come back. By the
Right.
time I get back,
I'm gonna go visit my mom. I'm gonna be like, Ma, you got dinner plans? All right, I'm gonna come down after work. For what? Well, Rihanna just put out an album. I'm just gonna listen to them. I mean, I just wanna, just to spend some time.
Oh.
But no, that's great. We love good music. We love good artists. Okay, so now I think it's a great time to move on to our next topic, which is the spit. And the spit is if you just have random like shower thoughts, like hits, blunt moments that just come to your mind, you just want to spit it out.
I mean, it's not really. I feel like I shouldn't say it. Okay, but anyway, no judgment. But the other day, I had seen, not the other day, like a couple of months I had seen this TikTok, right? But I ain't believe the man or whatever. So I just went on about my business. So like last week, this is so random, probably not relevant, but I went to Wendy's and I got the 4 for $4. And they just switched the size of the cups, y'all. And I was so mad when I got it because I like the Coca-Cola drink machine, you know, the one we can mix and match. My favorite drink, if anybody cares, is the raspberry Minute Maid lemonade out that drink machine, right? And so Wendy's the only like fast food place that I go to that can give it to you in the drive-thru. Went there, I was so excited. I didn't really care about the 4 for $4. Like I just cared about the drink. And when I got my cup, the cup was like this big. And I was like, I'm a grown woman. I can drink that in 3 gulps. So when I first saw it, right, y'all know my favorite word is hell. I was like, what the hell? And she was like, oh, that's your drink. And I was like, girl, what happened to the big cups? And she was like, oh, we changed them. I said, so when? And she's like, oh, it's been a while. So I didn't know it had been a while because I have been fasting, like not fasting, but trying to eat healthy, not eat out all the time. So I didn't know nothing about fast food. So it was like a culture shock to me. I was like, why are we switching cups? Like, I know it's COVID. Y'all ain't losing that much money. Like, I know it was a time y'all ain't had the burgers, but the cups though, the cups. No. So that's just like my little random thought. Like, I think they should bring the regular size cups back. These grown people.
Petition it.
Okay. I mean, as long as people gonna sign it, because I know some people out there that feel the same way I feel. But yeah, I was real mad. I was real mad about that. I mean, you said random, so
it counts. No, it counts.
That just reminded me of the Candy video when she got mad at the Chick-fil-A girl because she said, of course, instead of my pleasure. And she said, you done messed up my whole Chick-fil-A experience. It's my pleasure, not of course.
And that is why Chick-fil-A won't come to Hertford County, North Carolina, because them people not going to say nothing. They don't even say hello to you. So they're not going to say my pleasure.
Y'all know if you say, well, see, y'all might know, but you know if you say my pleasure before they say my pleasure, you get a free chicken sandwich, right?
No.
Oh. Put y'all on. Try it.
What? Have you tried it, Ashlee?
No, I don't really be eating at Chick-fil-A.
How you gonna send us on a journey that you have not experienced?
Okay. How about I try and get back to y'all to let y'all know it worked?
We got to go over there and embarrass ourselves, Mr.
No. But I have seen it. It's something they don't tell you. It's something they don't tell you because, of course, they're not trying to give away free food. Mm-hmm. I have seen it, but I have not experienced it personally. All right. But when I do, or if y'all beat me to it, just try it. It ain't gonna hurt nothing.
Mama, just ready.
Just get ready. Just put your hand out for the receipt, and then before it even hit your hand, just say, "My pleasure. Thank you so much."
So it doesn't have to come up naturally. You just gotta say it.
No, you just gotta say it.
Okay.
You gotta say it, like, you know, you have to say it before they say it. So usually they'll give you, you order your food, you go, you pay, and then when they give you your stuff, they'll just say, have a good day or whatever, my pleasure or whatever. You have to say my pleasure before they say it. Because technically it's like keeping them on their P's and Q's, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And then they're supposed to give you a free chicken sandwich. For real.
So you
3 people do it now. 3 people. So I ain't done it I don't know how they do it here in Durham. They might be a little ratchet, but I will try it for y'all next time I go.
Okay.
So you're supposed to say it before they usually say it.
Yes.
Okay, so I can't just, they'll be like, hi, welcome to Chick-fil-A.
No, you can't do that.
I'll be like, nope. Well, my pleasure. Can I get a...
Nope, ain't gonna work. Don't mess it up for the people where you live. Don't mess it up. Just follow instructions. Order your food, drive around, get them your payment, and when they get ready to give you that card and that receipt back, my pleasure. Before they say it. You should get a free chicken sandwich.
If only I ate chicken.
Oh. Well,
yeah, I don't eat chicken either.
I'm not driving an hour and 30 minutes to the nearest Chick-fil-A either. So
I mean, but that wouldn't be your pleasure to drive.
You better go through there and get you some fries, them waffle cuts.
It's not worth it.
Ice cream it still ain't gonna matter. She don't eat chicken.
Oh, so I mean,
the reward is a free chicken.
Yeah.
Well, there's a difference. Well, I mean, I guess you don't want to waste it neither. Because my thing would be like, well, all I gotta do is get the sandwich to prove that it works. You know what I'm saying?
And I've been really, I mean, I'm bad at this because I'm a grazer. But someone posted the other day, they were like, we have so much extra food in America that we like play with it and make decorations out of it. Like they have pumpkins in front of a house or whatever. He's like, isn't it crazy how America has so much extra food? We can just use some of it as decoration. And I was like, yes, we're terrible. Why are we doing this? Like, give the food to people who need it. Why are we just putting it in front of the house for fun? So I'm trying not to waste food as much, but it's really hard because, again, I'm a grazer. So I eat a little bit at a time. And eventually, if you do that, some gets left over.
Yeah.
See,
About that, like we have such a surplus, but it's not evenly distributed. So some people are still starving in America, obviously. But it's crazy that some of us are so privileged that we can just use food for fun.
yeah, that's true. See, I wish I was a grazer sometimes, but I'm a food dumpster. So I be getting meals, and you know the character Kirby, where he just like a vacuum. And that's what I be feeling like sometimes. Like I be going to places like Cookout or whatever and get the whole tray, and in 30 minutes it's just gone, and I just be looking just shame because I have no reason to eat that fast. I probably looked like I was deprived of so many nourishments because you know how you ever been so hungry that you just zone out while you eating and you just go no. So
No.
maybe I was for real deprived of. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm like, oh, this so good. Lord have mercy, I only got a little bit left. Girl, don't say that. You're gonna be mad later. I be having conversations, so I don't zoned out. So nope.
If my food is good, I'm definitely dancing along the way. Like
that is
I made
hilarious.
it. I'm like, yes, girl, you better cook. Like it's more like that. Like I'm excited about something I create.
That's how you know when the
and
food
I want everybody in the house to taste it.
Right. It just be like
when the food is hitting and you look over and you see somebody.
The Rock. It's The Rock every time.
It is the best though.
You be like, let me try some. Let me try some. Cooking is a whole different story though. Like if you cook it and it's bomb, oh, that's just a whole nother level of pride. Like you be volunteering other people to taste your stuff. They're not even hungry. You just be like, hey,
taste it. Open your mouth. Open your mouth.
Open your mouth. Right. It's hot.
This.
Blow it.
Try this. Go. Like
right.
Quarantine didn't help a sister lose some weight. Because I won't fit to gain the freshman 15 during COVID all over again.
Right. See, quarantine. Yeah, quarantine was definitely a good opportunity.
We were just talking about that. We didn't got in shape and out of shape.
In shape and out of shape.
Because in the beginning, it was a workout every other day. And now it's...
Okay. So in the beginning, I was like, yes, you have time working out. Yes, girl. And then like it was like a period where it's like, girl, are you even gonna try today? Or
right.
It's not no, okay.
The answer was no.
Yeah, no.
Like I said, like in that chat, I was like, yeah, you trying to look good for Bay and stuff, and you succeeded and failed in the same span of time. Like, how does that happen? You'd be like, oh, and you'd be asking people, you'd be like, I mean, how you think? I feel like I, let it go a little bit. And they're like, no, you look great. You look fine. I'm just like, to who? Because baby, I need to burn some calories. Speaking of burn, our last segment is the burn. Because everybody knows that, especially with brown mouthwash, that shit burns. So this is the time where we can just get things off our chest. Whatever's burning you up in this moment. So I'll open the floor if any of you guys have anything that you gotta let it burn.
The world.
I have something I want to talk about. I want to talk about supporting Black-owned businesses.
Come through, sir. I'm here for it.
Speak on it.
Because I feel like, well, I know not in this circle of people here, because I know we all support Black-owned businesses, but I feel like as a whole, like we're becoming more aware of how important it is to support Black-owned businesses. But I feel like sometimes we don't think about the places where we can actually support a Black-owned business in the things that we use every day. Like, for instance, for me, like skincare products or hair products or like makeup or whatever, like those things that a lot of people use every day, like your body wash, your lotion, you know what I mean? Deodorant, those types of things that we use every day that we can support Black-owned businesses. And the reason why I was thinking about that was because I was watching this a YouTube video of this person that I'm subscribed to, and she did like a makeup haul, and I was like, girl, you ain't got no Black-owned makeup products in here, like what we doing? She did have 2 Fenty Stunner lips though, like lipsticks, lip glosses, but she said like they had like gifted her like the pro filter concealer like a while ago, and she didn't like it or whatever. But I was like, okay, Fenty might not be your thing, but like it's other brands out here we can patronize, right? And I just feel like in terms of that, like we as a people, Black and non-Black people, can do better with that. In terms of like Black economic empowerment is something that I feel like we really need. And also in terms of like Black tech, like supporting Black owned tech companies, like whether you make websites or you make apps or whatever it is. You're heard, right? Like just supporting those businesses. And like sometimes people just don't even know that they exist, but like doing your research to try to seek out those things. Like I know me personally, recently I've been like looking for places where I can support a Black-owned business and actually, you know, pursuing those things and researching those things. Because for instance, like I use face sunscreen every day. I'm particular about my face sunscreen. It has to be a physical sunscreen and not a chemical one. And I'm like, I'm gonna find this Black-owned business. It's gotta be one out there. And I found it recently, and that was through doing research and trying to put in the effort to find those things. So for me, I feel like we as a population of people, not just Black people, but especially Black people, we need to be more conscious about supporting Black-owned businesses, even restaurants like that may be struggling during COVID, and do those things like plant places. I've been getting into plants. It's like finding those plant shops that are Black-owned. They exist, and we just don't know about them because they might not have a platform or a space to elevate themselves or make it known that they exist. So yeah, that's basically all I wanted to talk about. That was me on my soapbox.
What's the sunscreen I've been looking for?
It's Unsun Cosmetics, and they actually just recently launched in Target. I think it's available at Target.
Okay, and then
I'll send you the link, girl.
Okay, thank you. Because I've been looking for one. And then
also download your herd.
Yes. Oh, I can put links to all this.
Look as well. If you live in Raleigh, or even if you live in North Carolina and you're willing to make a visit to Raleigh, there is a Black-owned business in Crabtree now called The Lounge. And the owner has her own personal business called Curves. And then she has like 20 other Black-owned vendors in there as well. So it's like a shop where you can go for pretty much, I mean, they have a lot of things. They have makeups, they have soap, they have hair products, they have cosmetology items in there as well. Anything that you need, skincare is in there. So, and they're Black-owned. So if you guys are in Raleigh, check them out, because I mean, I'm pretty sure that you guys are getting those products anyway. So that's just my quick little plug. for them.
And I got one too. Candles. So my friend Akaya, who went to NC State, has her own line of candles, and they're called Enjoy Candles, INJOI Candles, and I think that's their social media handle too. I bought one. It's over there. I don't have it. I don't have it with me. But she has a few different scents, and she makes her wood. She has wood wicks and then hemp wood wicks, or hemp wicks, and they burn really nicely. And whenever they burn, because they're made with all natural ingredients like avocado oil and essential oils and things, it melts into a moisturizer. So you can rub it into your skin. Either as an oil or like a massage oil, or as a lotion if you want a better consistency.
Massage oil.
Oh, look, she said those candles are good for you or y'all.
Perfect.
Okay, circular product stream.
Yes,
Okay.
we love to see it. Sustainability.
No
So
waste. Come on.
definitely. Yeah. And so I bought mine, and it shipped to me within a week or something too, like a few days. So I will put all of these businesses that we mentioned today into the description whenever this episode goes up. So if people do have the ability to click around, or if they're watching on YouTube or something, they can go check out these businesses, because it is important to support Black and minority owned businesses, especially since there are so many out there. And if we got to be our own network before this thing pops off that way, then that's what we have to do. So
I would just highly suggest that everybody just research. Like, I feel like that's the main problem. It's just because, like Kay was saying, the awareness, or who may or may not have a platform, just research it, or like ask your friends. Obviously, we just gave out all of these right here. I ain't know nothing about it until today. So ask your friends, because they're out there supporting people. And the one thing that I can honestly say is try not to believe or hype up the stereotypes that people have about Black people and their businesses, and then to just give them a chance. So even if you buy it one time, you still support it. If you didn't like the way business was handled, if you didn't like the product, then fine, but at least give people the opportunity or chance to make an impression on you with the products, because everybody has to start somewhere. If it was you doing something, you would want somebody to support you, okay? Yep. If you were spreading the word, you would want other people to come, and like that's how you build your clientele. So you don't know until you try. I've been trying to do the same thing. I have a few things that's coming up as well, and one of the things that we are going to try and do is also support Black-owned businesses. I have so many people that I know that are doing something, or at least started something during COVID. And what other better way to do it and help us economically is to support during COVID. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize a little bit goes a long way. Even if it's hyping them up on social media, like follow this person, or this person sells this, you're supporting. You're not purchasing anything, but you're supporting. If you're loan funds, or if you are in a position to support financially, then just try it out one time. It don't never hurt. You try that new restaurant one time.
Ooh.
You try that new boob one time.
Ooh.
I'm just saying. While we at it, just try it.
And I also give some grace, because there are a lot of Black-owned businesses that have been getting an influx of clients that they didn't expect. And now they're trying to pull it together to try to figure out a way to scale this business that just blossomed overnight. So I think extending some grace sometimes
absolutely
can be, can go a long way.
And I echo what she said. I was going to say something similar, that their infrastructure currently is not set up to deliver, hundreds of orders at a time. Like they didn't have that support before. So like Kayla said, grace is so necessary. They don't have the money to hire employees to assist them sometimes. Like give them time to get things to you, things take time. Anything that's new is going to take time, because experience is also going to help alleviate some of those issues. So give them a chance to catch up to the rest of the world.
For sure. No, I was that kind of went into my burn thing too. And I don't want to echo what you guys all said too much, but especially since a lot of us that are on here right now do have our own things that we're trying to get off the ground or whatever, even whether it be business or career or hobby. hello, this podcast, like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I ain't even got I was telling y'all before this, I ain't even got no intro song or nothing yet. But I still believe that this is something of substance, and down the road, as you try and try different things, it does get better, and the value naturally gets better because the experience and everything does too. So it's something to be said about the people that are there kind of watching you from the ground as you grow up. And then the whole thing becomes more of a communal experience of, oh, I remember like I was listening to the first episode and it was rough, but episode 29 or episode 100 or whatever is so much better than when you started. And I think that's the big payoff, because even full circling it back to what we do creatively or whatever, I do my music thing and it was trash back in the day. Y'all remember Packapalooza? All of them? Yeah, everything was not great, but each performance gets better. And when we were dancing together, like every performance was not top notch. Sometimes the memories be coming up on Facebook and I'd be humbled every time. ooh, I forgot that performance. Ooh. But we can look at our first performance on the team in 2012, 13, 14, and then look at our last one, whenever that was for each of us, and see the growth, and we go from, ooh, you should have been in the back, to, dang, why weren't you in the front, And so I think it's just something to be said about growth in general, and for people to be more empathetic, not only with the aspect of grace, but just put yourself in the shoes of whenever you were starting something that you believed in, but maybe didn't have all of the keys for.
Right.
You wouldn't want people to give up on you, even though you had a bad show or you started a little rocky, because at the end of the day, it becomes something really great. So yeah, I think we're all kind of on that same wave. But on the other hand, if you are the person that is doing it or building whatever that is, you have to understand that, like, as much as you would love people's support, you are not entitled to it either. And it's easy to get salty because people you feel like should be sharing your stuff or should be in your corner aren't, or like, this should be taken off by now because it's such a great thing and I don't know why people aren't. I mean, it's a natural feeling, but you got to realize, like, you aren't entitled to anybody doing anything for you. You just got to keep grinding until people eventually come around to realize that what you got is worth having. And people will support you in due time. You just have to stay consistent and keep moving for it. And as long as you are there for you, that's all you can really guarantee.
Yeah. And
so
sometimes support doesn't show up the way you think it should. Because you could feel like people aren't supporting you, but then they're in a room and they mention your name and you get an opportunity that you weren't even aware you could have, because somebody who you felt as though wasn't supporting you really was supporting you and was thinking about you in that time when something came off. So I think I totally 100% agree with that. Like, you're not entitled to anyone's support. If they give it to you, that's great. If they don't, there's plenty of other people that will too. And it's important to keep that frame of mind, because it can be very easy to get discouraged when you feel like, oh, is it whack, or is it not good enough, or is it, but also take the criticism too, because sometimes there are ways that you can improve. It's not always going to be 100%, the first time you do something, or the second, or the third.
Sometimes it really just ain't it yet, baby. This piece ain't gonna make the set just yet. But you keep choreographing. One day, by the time you graduate, it's gonna be picked.
It's like that sometimes.
Or just become choreographer some way. If you ain't get pieces in already, I don't know how you're gonna do that, but get there.
Get in where you fit in.
Get in where you fit in. Okay.
It will happen for you if the Lord allows it in due time.
In
You
due
back with the flag. It's you still in it though.
Right. And then be okay with the fact that this just wants your time.
Right.
You know, everybody don't make the team and instantly get a piece in the set. Okay. Sometimes you don't even get into the set. But if you stop dancing, you mad because you ain't get a piece in the set.
Look.
You ain't never gonna get there.
Look.
Okay. Woo, hard lessons. I just got flashbacks. I might have PTSD, y'all.
I can't.
I sure had to wait my turn because I think all of y'all in this call have at some point or another told me, Matthew, baby. Not yet.
Not me.
Jendayi. It's okay.
She's saying that, but she's the most realist on here.
Right.
I mind my business.
I'm Mama Jendayi.
Look.
Britnique,
You might be fooling these people, but you're not fooling us.
You're not fooling us. Jendayi be like, the piece was cute. I mean, I ain't vote for it, but
Why you sound just like her though?
What? No. Yeah, I voted for very little things though. So that's no.
Well, look.
I didn't vote for more things that I voted for. But that doesn't mean anything. Did my vote count? Probably not.
I don't know. Some of them, like this election, some of them races were close. Okay. We ain't have no write-ins back in our day.
Yes.
Abstain.
Sometimes you gotta stay.
Okay.
It was one we should all abstain from. It was one.
I mean, or the one that everybody did abstain, but somehow it still got. Yeah, I wasn't sure how those calculations added up, but I feel like if everybody abstains, then it's a no. But that's just me.
We decided to give
you mean like everyone abstained and like one person said yes? So majority yes?
Maybe.
Look, I don't know. My eyes are closed. I follow the rules.
Right, exactly.
Not I follow the rules.
So you don't really.
That seems like
it won't working. If you got to vote 3 times, it's not working.
One more time, y'all.
No.
I think I miscounted. So hands up for it.
Wait a second.
Sometimes you just knew though. You just knew someone going in because you know how you hear people's sleeves and stuff when they raise their hand. It'd be like, all who want this in the set, raise your hand. Silent. Under your breath, you just be like, ooh. That one ain't getting in.
Sometimes watching it, you be like,
That's what I did today. I was watching something. I was like, you know what? I'm a hater. Let me watch this again. Something because this is what I did. I watched it. I read the comments. I said, you know what? I'm a hater. Let me watch it again. And then I had the same feeling afterwards again.
Sometimes I've had to watch things a couple times to make sure that my opinion was correct.
Right. To reassure myself that I'm not bitter. I'm like, wait a minute. Maybe I'm just upset because I can't dance. Let me see.
Because
that weren't it.
Kayla will be the first person to be like, no. Nope, that just
it's
wasn't
a no for me. It's a no for me.
Comments be tripping your opinion up. You'd be like, wait a minute, am I crazy? Like, did I watch what they watched? Let me watch again.
Listen.
Look, I'm not the one. I'm not the one because my mama told me we can't say something nice. Don't say nothing else.
Look, I can't remember the amount of time that Kayla was just like, literally.
That's her face though, for real.
It is.
Literally.
Because I can't fake it. I just gotta be like.
And don't mess around and catch her. You're gonna make eye contact with her from across the room.
It'd be me and Matt trying to. We'd be like,
right. We be trying hard, leaning.
Right.
You just gotta give a smooth nod.
Or a straightforward no.
Right.
Actually,
people's feelings be getting hurt, so you gotta.
It's true.
No, it's
Life don't care about nobody's feelings out here.
It doesn't. But you know what? I recently went through like my messenger and like deleted, like I realized how much space was taking up and I deleted some messages. And I cannot tell you how many messages I have from like people reaching out about like, hey, I just wanted to like reach out and just ask like what was the problem here, or like what went wrong, or like why something didn't make it in the set. And I was like, wow, I did not realize how much that happened. Like going back and looking on it, I was like, oh my goodness.
But you know what?
I was in there.
Look, hello. Because she be giving them real long like paragraphs to let you know, hey, you need to work on this right here. Right here. Read that. Come back to me tomorrow. You still not in it, but come back to me tomorrow and we're gonna get you right for next time.
I mean, you gotta be as helpful as possible. It's all love. It's all love, you know? But if you're not ready at the time, you're not ready. But you can be.
You can be.
You know?
And work ethic is so important, all of this stuff. And honestly, we could talk about this for a long time, but I think that is best saved for another swig of brown mouthwash. With that being, boy, I tell you, I'll be working on these little segues, boy. So with that being said, thank you guys for being here and chatting with me for this episode of Brown Mouthwash. And I hope that all you guys that are watching or listening enjoy the conversation as well. Do you guys want to give out your social media? Do you care?
Sure.
Okay.
Mine is KNLA87 on all platforms.
Mine is my name on all platforms.
QUE.
Yeah.
QUE.
Britnique. It's pretty easy. So it's like literally just my name.
If you want to, it's been a minute since I posted, but you can follow me at Foolery with Ashlee. That's Ashlee with 2 E's, not a Y. You're going to miss it if you put that in there. And yeah, like I do have my own YouTube channel and I am coming out with a new project next week. So be on the lookout for that. I'm so excited. So yeah, Foolery. So spell fool, ERY. With Ashlee 2 E's. I'm just saying because some people they be typing all kinds of stuff, so you just gotta help them out.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's is my name as well, and 2 underscores. So at JENDAYI __ because that's the Instagram that you'll actually get invited into.
Yes. And of course, to follow the podcast, you can follow it at Brown Mouthwash Pod. That is BROWNMOUFWASHPOD on social media. And if you have anything to send in, maybe you want to be featured on The Gargle or something with a question, you can send that to brownmouthwash@gmail.com. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening to this episode, and hopefully we will catch you guys next week with a new episode of Brown Mouthwash. Peace out.